What's up, everybody? Hopefully you can hear me okay. This is a new GoPro. I got a couple new items. As you can see, since my last video, it's been a while, but stuff happens, and got other stuff that I do outside of, you know, making adventure videos. This is really just my recreational, for fun thing that I do. I'm not like a YouTuber or anything like that. I don't try to make a living out of it or anything. I just want to make sure that at some point in my life I can look back on the things that I do, and as well as with the kids and the family too. So yeah, but yeah, it's still been a while. I just haven't been able to get out very often, but it's March 20th and it's 93 degrees right now, which is insane. Out here in northern Utah, we're in the West Desert again. As you can see, I just went and did some shooting with some new equipment that I got recently. Actually, just one piece of equipment, but the other ones I've had for a while. But yeah, I just wanted to get out and put some lead down range. And now I'm heading to a camping spot up here out in the West Desert area. And then tomorrow I'm probably gonna head down to Capitol Reef and check out Cathedral Valley, because even lived in Utah forever and I've still never seen it. So definitely gonna go check it out. And then I'll probably take the kids there next weekend, so I want to go see what the situation is before we do the family trip thing. Yeah, I got a new camera, which is what I'm on right now. So I'm saying hopefully it sounds good. And last couple videos showed you the new truck. Didn't do too much as far as how I'm set up. Still sleeping in the back. Got my fridge back there and just regular camping equipment. So yeah, we're just out here having fun, and we'll check in when we get to the next campsite. Told you guys I'd check in when I got to camp. This is what we found for the night. It's really open, grass area, nobody else around. A couple people down that way pretty far, down that way pretty far. There's also a lake down this little canyon right here. There wasn't any spots by the lake. I did get a new fishing pole, so I was hoping to give it a try, but I'm probably like 5 miles from the lake at this point because there wasn't any spots. Got the propane fire pit. Should be pretty nice, not having to deal with firewood and all that stuff. My cousin gave it to me, so I'm pretty stoked to use it. Sleeping in the truck in the back. No shade, so we had to put up the awning, and got the cooking stuff under it and the table under the awning and all that good stuff. But probably just gonna hang out, chill, take it easy. We've got a long drive tomorrow down to Capitol Reef area to check out Cathedral Valley. And yeah, I got the iPad with some movies and shows on it, and brought the Nintendo Switch too, so I'll probably just be hanging out, making some food and playing some games, watching some shows or a movie. Check in with you guys later. in bed now. Had some dinner by the fire. I used the propane fire pit as a grill, which was actually kind of nice. A lot nicer than using my propane stove that takes the 1 pound tanks. And then I have this big tank too, but I might just start on solo trips only bringing the fire pit and just cooking off of that, because it was pretty easy. I just warmed up some stuff that I had, but yeah, I'm gonna go to bed early because we got a long drive ahead of us tomorrow. I'm just laying down listening to a podcast and playing some Switch right now, so but we'll catch you guys in the morning. Alright, so we are back on the trail. Got camp all packed up. It's a pretty chilled night. There was some wind that picked up into this morning. And the new awning or sunshade thingy. Not quite an awning. Struggled a little bit, but I only had rocks in the base of it, so once I put the stakes down, it was fine. Didn't really make any breakfast. I was kind of being lazy, to be honest. I'll probably just eat some granola bars and drink my coffee. I did make some coffee, but last night a couple people kept pulling into the campground because some other people were camping up the trail, and I think they gave them the wrong coordinates, but they were cool. It wasn't a big deal. But yeah, we're gonna head through, yes, this is called Main Canyon that we're on right now. And we're gonna go through Main Canyon to Torrey, Utah, not kind of this typical freeway and highway roads. But yeah, there's still some people camping up this little canyon from the lake, which is pretty cool. Really good spots. Like I said, I like the grassy areas here because it's not as dirty. But yeah, we'll check in a little bit once we get a little bit closer to the capital, Reef. And this is where we need to go. You go right down there and then up that trail. I'm not gonna lie, I'm out here solo and it's making me kind of nervous to do this, but came all the way out here. Not gonna lie, I was shaking a little bit on that one. I've seen people do it on videos. I just wanted to make sure I knew what I was getting into, but Apparently if you just hug the right side, that's where the most shallow part is. That's what I did. Hug the right side and then just cut over right where the trail is. Wasn't too bad, honestly. It just makes me nervous because I'm out here solo. And if I get stuck, then I don't really have a lot of options. But yeah, we're gonna find a camping spot and then tomorrow hit Temple of the Sun and Moon. Okay, so the BLM campground before you enter National Park was taken. Wasn't really anywhere to camp, which is weird because this place is just like a very like standardized trail and not stuff that you can just kind of pop off to the side in. So I thought that I would be able to get the park campground, like the formal campground, but it was full. Sorry, I'm looking at something. But it was full, so I'm gonna try to book it down to the Cathedral Valley area so I can actually see the stuff that I came to see, which was the Temple and the Sun and the Moon. But I don't know, it's getting dark, so I'm kind of racing against time right now, but I will see what I can do. I might have to just drive out of the park onto the other side and just get some pictures of Temple and the Sun and Moon from up above, and then go to a BLM campground on the other side before it gets dark. But not ideal, but it's all good. Things are epic, I'm not gonna lie. This is my first time here, but I don't know which one's Temple of the Sun and Moon and which one's not, but that's what we're looking at right now. I'm just gonna keep driving because it looks like I'm in the right spot. This is what I came to see anyway. I planned on camping and then coming down here tomorrow to explore all this. But like I said, the sun's going down, all the campsites were full, so I had a PB&J on the side of the road and let the dog go to the bathroom, all that good stuff. So yeah, now we're just gonna ride it out in the dark if we have to. I got some lights on the truck, so I'm not too worried about it. And we're seeing some pretty cool stuff right now, so I'm not too mad about coming down here right now and missing out on the campsite. We'll probably find one just past the Cathedral Valley area. So we found a spot that you can see is either the Temple of the Moon or Temple of the Sun, I don't know. But it's BLM land until you drop down in. So we were lucky and found a spot right around the corner before you drop in. It's kind of right off the road though, which I'm not too stoked about, but it's all good. It's time to set up camp. Probably can't even see me. I'm by the campfire about to make some dinner and then go to bed. There's not a lot of light out here, obviously, because it's about 8:30. So I'm gonna wrap it up until the morning, and then we'll go check out Lower Cathedral Valley. Alright, so my initial reaction after seeing those is they are awesome. I've had this place on my list of things to do forever, and I've just never made it down here, but they were worth every second of it because, yeah, I've only been in the park and looking at them for like 10-15 minutes, but that's really all you need. Taking a little bit of time and walking around the monoliths would probably be fun too. I did a little bit of that, but just spending a little bit more time here would be fun. I actually plan on taking my kids down here within the next couple of weeks, so that's probably when we'll do a little bit more exploring. But it's been a pretty long trip, and me and Leo are ready to go home. But yeah, if you haven't been down here, if it's something that, you know, if you live in Utah or near this national park, it's awesome. It's probably one of my favorite places. I just have a thing with cathedrals and like Gothic Victorian architecture and stuff like that, and these are pretty much nature doing that, which is awesome. So yeah, I mean, hopefully when I come down here within the next couple of weeks, it won't rain, because I can definitely see if it does rain, it being an issue, because there's a lot of really thin sand that if it gets wet and it comes through these washes, you can tell when it's flooding. And a rainstorm will cause those washes to fill up and have water in them. So that, mixed with the really thin, fine sand, would make it really difficult to navigate this place if you, for one, don't know what you're doing, and for two, don't have a decent vehicle. But yeah, I see a lot of RAV4s out here, which are all-wheel drive, and which is they're doing fine, but I could see them having a big problem if it's raining. And I've heard from a couple of people firsthand that they've got stuck out here during the rain. So probably just a little word of caution, and you know, me just thinking out loud regarding hopefully it doesn't rain next time I come. But even if it does, I think I'll be okay with the truck. But you gotta really keep an eye on it. I can tell. Probably hear these washboards. But yeah, I can tell it's definitely an issue if it rains. Otherwise, super awesome spot, and there's plenty of camping outside of the Capitol Reef campground, because there's only one formal campground. But if you go in where, so there's two places you can go into the national park. One is closer to Torrey, the town, and then one is closer to Caneville, the town. The one closer to Torrey is the one that we went through, and that's where you have to cross the river to get in. The one near Caneville is considered the exit, and I think the reason why they kind of label it that way is because if you can get in and over the river, then there's not really much more that you're going to need to navigate that's too crazy outside of, you know, any rain or weather, mud, stuff like that. But if you start in the Caneville area and then you get to the river and you can't get across it, then you have to turn back around, and then you risk running out of gas. So I would recommend, if you want to do the full Capitol Reef loop, to start at the entrance that's closer to Torrey, Utah, and cross the river first, which is what we did. But yeah, when you get past the formal campground, going a little bit further, you enter BLM land, and then there's off the side of the road camping. That's why last night I was kind of worried that we weren't going to find a camp spot, but then we hit BLM land, and I literally camped right next to the gate of the Temple of the Sun and Moon part of the park. But yeah, you probably hear my voice shaking from these washboards. That is one thing, is there's a couple areas that are pretty bumpy, but it's no big deal. Anyway, yeah, that's the trip. We started in northern Utah, West Desert, and then made our way through some back roads and a couple of highways down here to Capitol Reef, and now we're gonna drive back up to Salt Lake. Was driving and found an old can. I was looking out the window. On the lid it says, "Please do not litter. Dispose of properly." But yeah, so heading back to Salt Lake, but we still got to get out of the park, so we got about half of the drive left. So we'll probably just get some shots, and you know, if anything interesting pops up, put it on the camera. We're back on pavement. We're about 25 minutes out from Torrey. Probably going to be done filming for this trip at this point. Got everything that we wanted to get. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one.